Hi, this is Thomas LaFoe from the Instructional Media Center, and in this tutorial we'll be looking at how to create conference poster sessions in Microsoft Publisher. To begin, select the File tab, click New, and select More Blank Page Sizes. From here you can scroll down to the Custom section and click on Create New Page Size. When this dialog appears, you can name this poster session for use in a later project. You can also change the page size. For this tutorial, we will use a poster that is 77 inches wide. Press Tab and change your height to 44 inches. The margins, according to your design, can also be changed. Here we will change these to 1 inch. Once you're done setting your page size, click OK. The size is now saved in the Custom section, and over on the right-hand side of the screen, you can click Create. In designing poster sessions, it's sometimes helpful to set up some guides in the background to create different columns. This is done by going to Page Design, Guides, and Grid and Baseline Guides. In this tutorial, we will change the number of columns to 3. We want to change our spacing, which is our gutter spacing, the space between these columns, to the same as our margins, so that we have even spacing all the way around each of these columns. So in this case, we have 3 columns with 1 inch spacing. Click OK. Additional guides can also be added. Move to the ruler at the top of your screen and click and drag. This will place an additional guide here at the top of our poster. Once I've set this area for my title, I can go to Insert and Draw Text Box. Move to the top left of your page, click and drag to insert that text box. Once you've added the text box, you'll notice that the text box tools now show at the top. Here you can change your font. I'm going to select Arial. I can also use the alignment to center this both horizontally and vertically. After inserting the title, you can highlight that title and increase the point size using either these increase and decrease font buttons or by typing a new point size. Here I can see that the title is split to 2 lines, so I may come right here before the subtitle and just put a return so that that starts the second line. I can also control the line spacing. I can highlight these lines, go back to my Home tab where I have my paragraph settings, and then I can set this to single line spacing with no paragraph spacing after each paragraph. I can bold my font, and at the end of this title I'm going to press return. You'll notice that the handles around this box turn red. This means that I'm outside of the text box. There are a couple of solutions to this problem. If I make the text box larger by clicking and dragging, I can type in my name and also my affiliation. Highlighting just these 2 lines will let me change the point size for those lines, and then I can shrink my text box to match the guide that I set earlier. You can see in this case I still have the problem of the text running outside of this box. If I were to only select what I see here, the font that I would change would not include my affiliation line. To select everything in this box, go to your Home tab, look toward the right side toward the Editing group, click Select, and then select all text in Text Box. This can also be done by using Control-A on your keyboard. Now when I resize this text, it will size what I see and also what's hanging outside of this box. Click on the edge of your text box. This now allows me to use the drawing tools at the top to change the shape Fill and also the shape Outline. In this case, I'm going to tell it No Outline. The colors that you see here are set by the color scheme that you may or may not have chosen at the beginning of this tutorial. If you do not see the color that you wish to use, you can select more fill colors. In this case, you have a spectrum of colors that you can choose from, selecting your hue and also your tint, or you can use the Pantone colors. In this case, for the MSU maroon color, Pantone 202, I can type Pantone 202 and click Find. When I click OK, now that fill color has changed to my custom color. Here I can also highlight the text, go back to my Home tab, and change the color of my font to white. If you want to add backgrounds to each of these columns, this can be done by using shapes. The first step is I want to ensure that I have the same spacing between my title and my columns. I'm going to move to the ruler and drag a guide that's 1 inch down from the guide I placed earlier. Now I can move to Shapes, select a rectangle, and fill in this first column. By default, the shape comes in with no fill and a black outline. I can change the fill. Here I'm going to use just a light gray. And I'm going to change my outline to no outline. To duplicate this box, you can right-click, select Copy, and then right-click and paste. I can move the shape into place, come to my third column, and also right-click and paste. For the middle column, to add some variation, I'm going to select that rectangle, go to my drawing tools at the top, and change my shape fill. You will notice that in the recent colors, I also have the option to use my Pantone color that I created earlier. To insert my text for the abstract, I will move to the Insert tab, select Draw Text Box, and draw a text box at the top of the first column. When working with text on a large document such as this, you may want to zoom in on this text box. To do so, you can use the zoom slider in the bottom right corner. I'm going to change the point size. Again, I'm just going to select 72. And I'm going to paste my abstract into this box. Here you can see that 72 is again too large. To select all of this text, I'm going to click in the text box and press Ctrl-A on my keyboard. This not only selects the text that I can see, but also the text that's laying outside of this box. Here I can adjust my point size. You'll notice that the increase and decrease point sizes go by the increments that are defined by this drop-down box. Another shortcut that can be very helpful in working with text is by pressing Ctrl and using your bracket keys. The right bracket will increase the font size, and the left bracket will decrease the font size. With the text highlighted, you can move to your Home tab, change the font color. Here I'm going to use the same maroon color. I can also highlight the word abstract, center this, and increase that point size as well. In this case, increasing that point size makes the text fall outside of this box, so I'm just going to adjust the height. If you would like to include a dividing line, you can also, from the Home tab, select Shapes and the Line tool. Here, if I hold Shift on the keyboard and draw a line, it will keep it straight. I can draw it from one end of the text box to the other, and it places just a thin black line. The line is selected, and I can choose the shape outline color. Again, I'm going to use maroon. I can also, from this shape outline, select a different weight. Here I'm going to choose a 6-point line. In many cases, hyphenation can make a paragraph very difficult to read on a large format poster. To remove hyphenation, click inside the text box, move to your text box tools at the top, and select hyphenation. Here I can uncheck Automatically Hyphenate and click OK. And this will remove hyphenation for this text box. Remember that you can also highlight this paragraph, move back to the Home tab, and change your line spacing if you wish. To insert an image, Move to the Insert tab and select Picture. Browse to the folder that contains your image, select it, and click Insert. The picture comes in at full size. If you need it a specific size, you can use the sizing options here in the Picture Tools, or you can use the side handles or the corner handles. Using the corner handles will keep the picture in proportion. You can use the Rotate handle at the top to rotate this picture to a different angle. To add a border around this picture, use the Picture Border options. This applies a 1-point stroke around this image, or you can adjust this in the line weight. If you need to crop an image, there are also picture tools available for this. Move to the Crop option here in your Picture Tools and drag the black handles to crop this image. When you are finished, you can click Crop again, and then you can reposition your picture. On my third column, I have placed some text that is obviously far too small. A very helpful tool available in Publisher is the Format Painter tool. In this case, I can click on some text that is already formatted, select my Home tab, and then click on the Format Painter. Moving back to my third column, I can highlight my text that I've pasted, and it will automatically format that text to match my selected text. While I have it selected, I can adjust the line options, and I can use this as well for my titles. Selecting the word Abstract, clicking on the Format Painter, and highlighting my titles will make those match as well. And click the Format Painter again, and continue this step for each of these titles. Images added in Publisher automatically have a text wrap applied. Here I'm going to insert another image and move this into place. You will notice that the text wraps around this image. This can be controlled using the Wrap Text option in your Picture Tools. Using these tools, the margins, guides, text boxes, shapes, and images, you can present your research any way you like. If you have any questions, please visit our website at library.msstate.edu/IMC.
Welcome to this tutorial. My name is Nicole, and today we will be talking about how to create a poster in Microsoft PowerPoint. As you may know, Microsoft PowerPoint is a presentation application that is commonly used in business and education. The features of PowerPoint provide users with various options for creating visually appealing documents and presentations. For this tutorial, you will learn how to create a poster using the visual tools provided in Microsoft PowerPoint. Now, why would we use PowerPoint? There are several factors that make PowerPoint an effective tool for creating posters. First, it's a familiar tool to many individuals. It's also very easy to use. It provides a variety of format options and can even do very large formats up to 56 inches. And finally, it's accessible to most people through their personal or work computers. Now, what are some ways we can use this tool? Students and staff can utilize this tool for various projects around campus, such as welcome signs for a department office, a club table sign for rush week, a research poster for a class or conference, perhaps a menu board in the cafeteria, directional signs for a conference, and much, much more. To begin, let's start by opening a new PowerPoint presentation. Go to the File option and select New and Blank Presentation. Next, from the Design menu, you'll want to select Page Setup. This will allow us to adjust the page size. And for this presentation, we're going to use a standard 36 by 36 inch poster that is often very useful when doing research paper presentations or poster shows. Click OK. And this has resized our document so that the print size is actually 36 inches square. Now, before you select your final print size, you should contact your print office to determine what the largest format is that they can use, because many can't print above 40 inches. So you'll need to contact them if you want to use any size above a 40-inch document. After adjusting the slide size, it's recommended that you activate the ruler guidelines and guides to allow you to easily align images, text boxes, and other content. So from the View menu, we'll want to click these boxes next to Ruler, Guidelines, and Guides. This is a basic layout for a poster which could easily be used for a research poster or conference poster. In our next segment, we will talk about some additional items that you should consider to include on your poster to make it most visually appealing. And those are shapes, images, smart art, and text boxes. First, we will add some shapes to this slide. To do that, click on the Insert menu and the Shapes drop box. You can choose any of the shapes provided here, and I will just use the rectangle here at the top. This will make a nice title bar. One more here underneath for the body of the text and images. But as you can see from the drop-down box, you can select from any types of shapes and in various sizes. And shapes are a great way to add variety, structure, and color to your poster. By adding them at the beginning, they automatically become the background and provide a palette for adding additional images, smart art, and text boxes. In addition, you can also scale a shape to any size and it won't distort the image at all as you adjust it. Next, we will include some images in this presentation. And from the Insert menu again, you can click on Pictures or Clip Art, whichever you prefer. And from Pictures, we'll just use some of the sample pictures that are provided. This chrysanthemum looks pretty good. I also like the desert scene, so let's add that. And as you can see, we can move around the image to any place on the document that you want. I'll go ahead and copy this and create another one to put on the opposite side. One of the nice things about activating the grid lines is, as you can see, it provides a measure across the center so that you know that they've been lined up correctly. Next, we'll add a piece of smart art. Also from the Insert menu, you click on Smart Art. This selection box allows you to choose from lists, processes, cycles, relationships, pyramids, any number of different things depending on what your needs are. For this presentation, we'll just use this honeycomb shape. And as you can see, it automatically opens a text box for you and it allows you to type in whatever you'd like. You can tab to the next one and then to the final one. And when you're done typing in the items that you'd like, you click the X to close. And like images and shapes, you can resize this to anything you would like. And I want this to be similar in size to the pictures, the images below. So I will resize that a bit. And remember, this is going to be printed on a 36-inch square, so it may look small in this version, but once it's printed, it will be much larger. That's one way of adding some smart art to your project. And as you can see on this particular smart art, it does allow you to add additional pictures if you'd like. So we can insert that image on a honeycomb and then some flowers in the other honeycombs if we want. And depending on the type of smart art that you choose will vary as far as how many different things you can add, if it's more text or if it's images. And the last aspect that we'll cover in this tutorial is a text box. From the Insert menu, Again, you choose text box, and that will activate your mouse so you can draw a text box of whatever shape and size you'd like. So I will draw a few here. It does allow you to change from the format menu. You can change the fill or the outline of the text box. For example, since it's first transparent when it comes onto the screen, to change that a little bit so I can see it a little more, I can outline it in white, or I can even fill it in a light gray. So for this text box, we'll just put the title here, and I want to center that. Make it a little bit bigger. And to add additional text boxes, because we have all of this additional space down here that's not being taken up by images, click on text box again, and that allows me to add it there. And we can go to format to fill the shape. So this will give you an idea of how a text would look on this project. And as I mentioned before, you can see how the boxes will line up and be centered with each other. And we'll add another text box for this. I don't want that to bump up right against the pictures, so I'll make it a little bit smaller. And on the format, I'll fill the shape. And there we go. A few things to keep in mind. Whenever you are doing your setup for the poster, it's always nice to have a triangle effect. See how this provides a triangle effect with the text boxes as well as a triangle effect with the images. This allows the user to be guided to the different areas that you want them to look at, and that makes the poster much more visually appealing. To conclude, you'll want to make sure that you save your document both in a PowerPoint format as well as a PDF or a TIFF format. And the reason why you want to do both is because saving it in a PowerPoint format will allow you to come back later and edit it if you need to, but saving it in the PDF or TIFF format will allow the printing office to print the document for you. And one thing that we want to do before we select to save it or print it is we'll want to check out how big the text is at 100%. So what we do is come down to the bottom right zoom bar, and we'll take it up to 100%. And let's look at, here's our text. So if this poster is being used in a conference, for example, people aren't going to be very close to the poster to read it. So I would step back 3 to 5 feet from the poster to make sure that I can read the title and read the text in the various places and from that distance. Otherwise, from that point you can adjust it based on what you see and how easy it is to read from a distance. Now finally, to save it. In order to do that, we go to the top left, File, Save As, and we want to save this presentation as a PDF. That tends to work really well for print shops. And the other option is TIFF, T-I-F-F, down here, Tag Image File Format. But we'll do a PDF from here. Save it to our desktop and click Save. And that will publish the document in a PDF format, which allows the print shop to use the PDF document direct to the printer. And here's the finished product in a PDF. I hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial and learned a few extra things about how to create a poster in PowerPoint.
The sample poster template illustrates the MRAD format. In this particular example, we have the following sections: study objective, introduction, methods, results, discussion, references, and acknowledgments. The study objective section here at the top is optional, depending upon the conventions in your field, as well as your purposes and the context of display for your poster. You may or may not want to include a section at the beginning that highlights or forecasts or give an overview of your project as a whole. The information in each of these text boxes is the same information that is included in the Organizing Your Poster section in the body of the article. So it includes instructions about what types of content you'll want to include in each of these sections. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the design features. The poster title, of course, should be the largest text on your poster. Put this at the top and go ahead and center it. Author names and affiliations will go next. And then, of course, the body of your poster will comprise the rest of your poster. Include your school or organization name and logo either on the left-hand side on the title bar or on the right-hand side, depending upon what appears to be conventional in your field. In terms of the typography, this poster uses the same typeface for all of the text, which is Calibri. Calibri is a sans serif. You can use the same typeface for all of your text, but you'll want to be sure that you create good contrast. That is, you'll want to be sure that the title stands out and that the author names and author affiliations and that the headers stand out from the body copies. So you can achieve good contrast through bolding and also by making your headers and your title larger. In this particular example, the poster title size is 112 points. The author names and author affiliations are 76. The headers are also 76. Make your author names and author affiliations the same size as your headers. The body copy is 48 and the captions are 36. So this will give you an idea of what this looks like. The sample poster template uses a red-green color scheme. Depending upon the conventions in your field and your particular purposes, you might want to use the color scheme of your school to brand your poster or the color scheme of your organization. You can also choose a color scheme that reflects your poster's content or the overall theme of your poster. In this particular example, notice this image right here of the sunflowers, the image of the apples, the tree, and then this bar chart, which compares trees, shrubs, flowers, and grass. So here, green was chosen to communicate this nature theme. The red is serving as an accent to the green. Use cool colors as your dominant color, and then use a warmer color as an accent color. In this case, of course, the green is the cool color, and the red is serving as an accent to the green. The text boxes have been filled with a lighter shade of the red to complement this red, but also to ensure that readers can read the text over the patterned background. The red is also repeated here in this bar chart, as well as down here with the apples. The green is repeated here, as well as over here. So you'll want to repeat your color scheme throughout your poster. Finally, this poster illustrates the organizational strategy commonly used with the MRAD format. It also demonstrates design decisions that you'll want to take into account as you design